So what's up? Today I'm going to show you how I track guitar, and it's time to get to work on a song. So what better time to show you? And the strings that are on this are old. They're probably 2 months old. This is just a kick around, jam around. The strings on this are about 5 days old, and they get wiped off every single night after I get done playing, yada yada yada. So this one's in really good shape. This is going to be great for lead work and stuff like that. This one I usually use generally, unless I need something special. Usually I use this for rhythm stuff and kind of filling in sound effects and stuff. And if I need to really get crazy, I've got the Super Strat over there in the closet with some acoustics and some other accoutrements. But we got to start it right here. We got to strip the strings off this thing. And since we got the strings off of it, it's a good time to clean it, take care of it. Condition the fretboard if you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, whatever. And then just give it a good once over. Check the intonation and all that stuff, because it really piss you off. You get 3/4 into tracking guitar or something like that. You got 3 or 4 tracks that you like. Oh, it's fantastic. But then the intonation's a little bit off, because you've got a guitar panned over here and a guitar panned over here, and you're not playing exactly the same thing at the exact same perfect time, which is stereo. But that's not the point. One's slightly out of intonation, but you use this guitar over here because it was in the intonation, but you really wasn't thinking about it at the time because you was really into the track, and then all of a sudden now your guitar sounds like dog shit. Anyway, so let's get to it. Couple of quick tips, I'm glad you're here. What do you really need if you're going to change the strings on your guitar? You need the strings that you like, right? That's really all you need, okay? Because you can untune the damn thing, take the strings off, put the new strings back on, tune it back up. You're good to go, you're ready to rock, right? Honestly. But if you're going to get down and dirty with it, get all serious and stuff, here's some of the basic crap, right? You need a clean cloth of some kind. It can be an old cut-up shirt, an old sock, or something like that. Just something that's clean. It doesn't have to be a damn microfiber towel. For instance, here's an old sock that I'm going to use to clean the fretboard. Whatever your fretboard choice of conditioner may be, this is just in a little needle bottle, right? This is what it is. This is a mechanical lead pencil. This is actually not lead, it's graphite. What is graphite? When it's in powder form, it's a very fine and wonderful dry lubricant, which I'm going to use in the nut slots. String winder. It's also got a cutter in it, but we don't need the cutter. These are auto trim locking tuners. But this will save a minute or two. And finally, last but not least, we have a little bit of time. So, I think that's all the tips for the mug. Okay, here's another one real quick. So when you take your strings off, if you'll wind them up, I know this seems like a kind of a tedious, useless process, but if you do, when you go to throw them in the trash, they won't fling all over the place and shit like that, and you won't lose them in the carpet and then step on it later and, stick a string in your foot just for shits and giggles. I'm also going to have a Q-tip. That's for getting in there because I have strap locks. So that's for getting in there in the strap lock, put a little oil in there, cleaning it up, right? And then finally, last but not least, a flat tip screwdriver so I can adjust this two-pneumatic bridge in case anything's a little bit out of intonation. Okay, now I think that's it. I think that's all I got for you. Alright, so now we're here. Just for ease and comfort and stuff, if you had never set your guitar up or anything before, what we're going to do is say you bought an old guitar, okay? You bought it at a pawn shop or Guitar Center or whatever, so you use a guitar. Take the strings off, you're just going to clean it up. One thing I do that I don't know whether anybody's super OCD about it or not, but you can see my switch goes like this, right? Instead of straight up and down, because I play like this, kind of in this motion, so it's easier for me to flip the switch, right? Instead of it, getting. Anyway, that's just the way I like it. But my poker chip's still up and down. If that makes any sense, probably not. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, the pickup height and the pole pieces and stuff on my pickups are where I want them to be. I don't mess around with the neck a whole lot. It's basically just there for effect and volume drop and stuff. And then pole pieces are set to where I like. And that's just simply taking a flathead screwdriver and then just listening, and adjust it up and down. How do you pick? Where do you pick? And all that stuff obviously matters. So I just adjusted it to the way that I pick and the way that it sounds good to me. And then same with the pickup height. I'd start with the pickup height first, try to get the pickups equally loud, because you've got 2 volume controls. But you want them to get equally loud. And then you can kind of fine tune things the way you like. This is where we're going to set our intonation. This is a Tune-o-matic style, right? This is just your basic Les Paul. This is exactly what it is, just basic Les Paul. It's got a crazy paint job. That's silly paint job, whatever you want to call it, stupid paint job. And so we really don't want to mess with the action height or nothing like that unless I need to, but I'm going to try not to bump it. But if you need to adjust it, there's thumb wheels. You can adjust it with the thumb wheels. See? Okay. Or you can use a flathead screwdriver, and just with a flathead screwdriver. You can adjust these. You can stick a pick in here. And it's got a huge gap in there. See that? You can stick a pick in here and adjust that up and down if you need to, want to, and desired, however you like your thing set up. To your own preferences. What we're going to do right now, we're going to clean this fretboard. So, not a whole lot to it. You're going to put whatever you want on there, or whatever you don't want on there. Whatever you prefer. And a little bit of that on here. I don't want this floating in any of this stuff, but just enough to take the dead skin of the fingerprints and surface buildup and stuff off. And as you can see, we're already headed in the right direction, right? You can kind of see where I stopped. Anyway, we'll be back. Okay, so now I've gone over the whole thing. You can see it's nice and shiny. There's no shit, debris, or built up skin or anything like that on there. And I do polish my frets. My frets are pretty shiny. But anyway, that's not the point. You don't have to do that. You can definitely have somebody else polish and do your frets and shit. And chances are you may not ever have to have it done. But I'll play the piss out of everything that I have, so nothing seems to last long as far as natural wear, maintenance and shit. But going back over it, getting all that extra stuff up, and going in front and behind each fret, get all the crusty stuff out of there from just playing the shit out of it, because it just burns the skin off the end of your fingers slowly. Now the pencil, I was telling you about that. You can see my nut slots are kind of black because I use the pencil as a graphite. Les Pauls are kind of notorious for just their headstock design and how the strings pull and shit through the nut. They have a tendency to want to hang up and not be extra smooth. But there's other ways around things as well. But I've played this one so much that the nut slots are kind of wearing down. So I don't really have much of the issue of anything hanging up. But of course I don't want to either. So there's that. Now they're just blacked out, right? Solid black. Which is perfect. That's what I'm going for. That's what I want. And where did you go? This is just some duster spray, but you can use whatever you like. This one doesn't have any wax or oils or nothing like that in there, like it's gonna matter on this stupid looking thing. But anyway, I do use it on this, the pretty one, right? Because it doesn't have any wax or oils or anything in it. But you don't have to do that. You can buy just regular guitar polish or whatever you like. Anyway, so I'm gonna spray a little bit on this towel. I'm gonna wipe it all down. Then I'm gonna put the strings back on it. And if I think any tricks while I go along, I'll share it with you. All right. So at this point, I'm gonna put a dab of this lubricant. Just 2 or 3 drops on each side of this Q-tip. I'm gonna clean out the strap locks, right? Those. And what that's gonna do is just increase the longevity of my investment of those strap locks. Yeah, it's pretty damn grungy. Now we're pretty much at the point where I'm just gonna throw the strings on this. You can see this has strap lock, so as I tune it up, it's gonna clip the string off. These are auto trim tuners, but so it's gonna clip the string off, and then I'm gonna check the intonation and stuff, and then we're gonna hop over and well, we're gonna start making a little bit of sound. Here we go.